Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Coaching. Today, we're going to be answering questions from real people online around promotions. I hope that you enjoyed this topic as much as we do. Here at HiK Trainings, we focus on helping people achieve their highest potential in this modern world. So let's go right dive in to question 1. Got denied a promotion because I make it look too easy.
An opening has come up at work for a role that my manager told me I could easily step into, as they've been really impressed with how I'm working. She had to put it to a board meeting first because they're the ones who make the final decisions. Now she's come back to me to tell me that they've decided that because I'm too good at what I'm doing now, they won't give me the promotion. She then had the cheek to say I should take it as a compliment. How does that make any sense? Looks like I'm slowing right down now. I've had enough of going above and beyond.
That's all I have to say about this one. And not because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they said that. It's because I have heard it a lot. Yes. And recently, we wrote an article for ATD, why you're not getting promoted, and also attended a podcast with Owlcast where we talked about this, is that when you are too good at your current role, you become indispensable. And that the person that gets promoted typically is the one that spends 2 hours of every day figuring out how they're going to get to the next role. How are they going to get to the next promotion? Meanwhile, you're being a workhorse. You're working, making sure that you're the go-to person. When someone needs it, they come to you and you're like, yes, I am the one. If you are that person and you've been in the role more than 5 years, I'm telling you right now that you're probably not going to get promoted. So whatever you have to do, make sure that you are being clear about your goals, that you have a path to promotion plan, that not just your manager knows about it, but their manager's manager knows about your plan. And if you're feeling like even then it's still not going to happen and they're giving you little excuses like executive presence, that's the problem. It's executive presence, or you're not strategic enough. You know, there's like all these little lines that is like, we're so happy that you're doing the job that you're doing and no one else can do it, so you're replaceable. Then it's time for you to look for that job somewhere else. There's always a job you can do somewhere else. The other piece I'm going to tell you is, do you really want the promotion? And that's something that you have to think through, right? Because if you gain value for being really good at your job and you like being the go-to person, when you get promoted to the next level, you're not going to be that. So if that's the thing that gives you energy, being a subject matter expert, stay where you are. If you believe, and I do believe that everybody should go for the next role because you're so good at it, that means that you'll do the next one and be able to teach others, right? Then absolutely go for the promotion. Now, it is important that you know that once you get there, they're going to expect your team to be as good as you. So it's important that you can show and display that you can teach people to do what you do and not hover and not micromanage. But absolutely, I think that you're going to get stuck in that role. And this person that posted this said, you know, how does that make any sense? It makes complete sense. I've been in corporate America for 20 years. I have seen it again and again and again. And let me tell you something. I was one of those people too. I was one of them. And then I realized, I'm like, oh, I'm staying here. And everybody's like just passing me through, until I learned that 2 hours of my day, I had to spend it on connecting with the people that will give me the promotion, displaying in many different ways that I was able to teach others to do my job and to be able to spend that amount of time on the next role, not the role that I was doing at the moment. Then I got promoted. So it is possible. Next one. Is there any recourse after being passed over for a promotion? This is an interesting one. I see where you're going with it. Let's debunk some myths here. Let's go in.
Recently, I was passed up for a promotion, which went to somebody who is way less qualified than me. When I say way less qualified, I mean she has worked for the agency for 4 years and prior to working at the agency had no additional experience. I, however, have worked for the agency for 8 years and had 5 years of experience prior to working there. I also have supervisor experience and experience in the unit where the promotion was given, which she does not possess. Every one of my direct supervisors was advocating for my promotion. For a long time, I have suspected that the woman in charge of my agency has a personal issue with me, as this is the 3rd time I've been passed up for promotion, but the first one that I was truly the most qualified for. While being told I was passed over for the promotion, I asked the staff coordinator, with whom I have a good relationship, very bluntly if the woman in charge of our agency will even entertain the idea of promoting me while in discussions, and she confirmed that she will not. When I told her I would likely be looking for a new job after this, she encouraged me to do so, confirming that my current job is a dead end. For full transparency, I have been spoken to at my job, but have never been given written disciplinary actions. I believe that the verbal warnings are what are holding me back, as although they are not on paper, the woman in charge of my agency remembers them. This incident happened 4.5 years ago, and I have had no written or verbal incident since. Is there any recourse that I can take? Is this an HR or union issue? Or do I just have to bite my tongue and lay low until I find a new job?
Oh my God. If I had a penny for every time this happens. I'm telling you, when that article from NTD, please read it. It is very real. We're going to post it here because it's one that came from the heart. I see it again and again and again. That's what we created our product Next Level Ready, is to promote top performers that can't get promoted. It's because you are playing a different game. You're playing a different game. The game that this person that was there for 4 years with no relevant prior experience was a different game than the one you were playing. You were playing being the best at your job. Yes, this person specifically says, this position is essentially a dead end. Exactly. And you made it indispensable. So if you're in a dead end position, the question is, what are you going to do? You should leave. But if there's a recourse of someone else getting the job and not you, I'm telling you, that's a battle you're not going to win. Unless you have tangible proof that there was any level of discrimination made during the interview and process, like someone verbatim, someone in writing saying something, witnesses of someone saying something about your race or your sexuality or your ethnicity or something of that sort, that you have actual tangible proof, or someone was under the influence, there's no case. There's no case. Someone got the job. And there's times, I'm not going to lie, that nepotism's involved, or someone knows someone, or there's a connection. But at the end of the day, it shows you who the organization is, if that was the case. And then if that's the case, why are you still there? And I understand that the job market is tough, and I can understand that, just picking up and leaving is not the right thing right now. There's plenty of things that you can do on your own. Start your own side hustle. Start looking for the job you're going to have in the next year, and just try to stay motivated. But I'll tell you, it is not uncommon that someone that you believe or people believe that are less worthy get the job and not you. It happens every time. And typically it's because what we value to be in leadership role is not what other people value. So it happens quite often. Last question of the day. I quit my job for feeling undervalued. Good for you. Okay, let's dive in.
Hi there, I've been with the company for almost 3 years as an assistant. I started the process of buying a house at the end of December and just so happened to get a promotion as a manager that gave me a 13% raise. I had also requested 100% remote, currently hybrid, 3 days at home, as I was purchasing a house 103 miles away from the office. Reason being that it was the only area that I could afford as a single person on one income. But I started feeling undervalued when, as an assistant, I didn't get bonuses, and when the promotion was offered, I asked about 100% remote, was denied, and asked if there was room to talk about a higher compensation, and was told that that was what she was only able to get for me from the higher-ups. The reason I had asked to negotiate the compensation was because I had referred a colleague from another company, and she started still 4K more than what I was getting promoted to. After that conversation, I felt very discouraged and started looking for another job that offered 100% remote, which I just so happened to start on Monday. I just got off the phone with the same colleague, and she had her employee review yesterday, and she said she got a 3% raise and a good bonus. She's now at 10K more for the same position, same job roles. Something to consider is that I've been in the industry for 7 years and she's been in it for 4 years. Tomorrow I have a meeting with my manager and want to bring all this up, including an exit interview with HR on Thursday. Should I bring all this up to them and let them know why I'm really leaving?
So I'm going to give two different perspectives on this one. One, there is constant inequality of pay that we see in the working world. 3 years of experience for $4,000 more, it is not that much of inequality. It might feel for you. Now, when someone comes in with 10 years of experience, 20 years of experience in a particular field, like that might be a little more significant. If it's a very specialized business and based on the $4,000 difference, doesn't feel like it is. But every job position in a corporation has a range. So that's why when you go into LinkedIn and they have a job position, there's jobs that had a $150,000 range. You can see them. Like one is like, you can make from $100,000 to $250,000. You're like, well, okay, well, I'm going to go for 200. And they're going to be like, no, we only have 175 allocated for this role, right? happens all the time. So in terms of inequality, it is in a way, but not necessarily for the corporation. So you have to like think about how they think about it. Now, if you don't feel undervalued and you quit, I think you did the right thing. Your gut knows what's right. Like if you're not valued in an organization, leave. Like no one is telling you to stay. And I appreciate the fact that you made that decision for yourself. I had a leader on one of the roles that I left, and I remember I was very sad because I was leaving her because I really enjoy her leadership. But I was like, I believe that I should be doing this and I have to go. And I will never forget what she said to me. This is a way to make means for your family. And at least you left on your own terms. And that's what I will tell you. You left on your own terms. Good for you. Sometimes the decision gets made for you and it doesn't feel as good and it's time to change. At least you made this decision. And it sounds to me like you did the right one. The salary might not have been a reason for me because you will be dealing with inequality in pay a lot, especially if you're a woman or a person of color. Welcome to America. This is a very exciting topic for me. We have plenty of products and coaching dedicated to help people get promoted, dedicated to help people learn the skills that they need to get to the next level. And I am super excited to hear your comments and your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope that answered your question. Excited to see the next ones. Talk soon.